I think we're good. I think we're live. I think I'm watching a commercial first, believe it or not.
Yeah, these commercials are so annoying. You can't get around them.
Yeah. All right, let me go invite everybody. All right, sweet. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, people are doing.
Yeah, all right, cool. We got 9 people on already, and welcome everybody. TD joined by Kurt via phone and DasMustang via video. How you doing today, gentlemen?
Pretty good.
Great. So Binamon, it's been on an absolute tear the last 48 to 72 hours, maybe longer, right?
Yeah, I noticed when I went back and looked at the chart, they actually just launched like a month ago, and when they first launched, like most do, it went through the roof, but it settled back down, and I just discovered it 48 hours ago, and when I found it, I started looking at it, and I saw all these deflationary aspects, and it got me excited, and started diving into it, and the more I read about it, the more I liked about it. So yeah, I started raising alarms to you guys saying, hey, come check this out with me, and it's been on a tear ever since.
Yeah, I whaled in myself yesterday, and I'm glad that I did because just in that short period of time, which I don't think it's even been 24 hours yet, the coin itself has almost doubled, and yeah, I'm really
since the 18th, we basically went straight up from 8.5 cents all the way to 75, 74. We're at that now.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So let's take a look here at the app itself. I'll paste the link for anybody who would like to follow along with us. Guys, would you like to share your screen, or should I share mine?
Sure.
So I'm going to go to NFT. I'll post it on the screen here. So this is the link that we're going to, nft.binamon.org. So you're going to need to have your MetaMask wallet set up. And if you're not on the Binance Smart Chain within your wallet, that's something that you'll need to add as well. It's relatively easy, and you can just Google add Binance Smart Chain to MetaMask, and you'll find a pretty easy walkthrough. That's the first result when you Google add Binance Smart Chain to MetaMask. Just follow that tutorial, and it's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, reach out to one of us. We'll be glad to guide you. Once you have MetaMask installed, then you will need some of the native coin for the Binance Smart Chain, which is BNB. I believe you can buy it on Binance.us if you're in the United States. Be careful though, because there are 2 different BNB coins. There's a BEP2 and a BEP20. You want the latter, not the former. The difference is the smart chain, right? There's a Binance Smart Chain, which has all the cool games and apps and everything. And then there's the other Binance chain that I don't even know what it does, but it's not cool or fun. And then from there, you're going to want to head over to that nft.binamon.org site, and I'll let Daz take it from there. So what are we looking at here?
Apparently there's multiple ways to pronounce this. I'm going to be saying Binamon just because I think Binance when I think about this game. So be prepared to hear other pronunciations. But anyway, this is the site. What you're going to want to pay attention to here is the learn, which takes you to the white paper. and this will go through a lot of the details. We'll try to cover some of the basics here, but what I would recommend is they have a very extensive YouTube already, and because the game is it just released a beta version last night, so they're going to be making a lot of changes. So anything we show you today could change tomorrow with their process, because they're opening up the beta adventures, I believe it is. So, but if you need to learn further about liquidity, some of the stuff that TD taught you about just now on Binance Smart Chain is in here, and further information on the gameplay. They've done a great job with these videos, and I expect that they're going to keep up with them. But we're here to give you an overview of this game and what we found so far, and some of the hangups that we found, because it wasn't intuitive. You know, this is a game that hasn't been released yet, so it doesn't have the UI UX experience that you might expect from something like a World of Warcraft or something like that. But all right, let's get into the game. So you click on play, and where am I? So here, sorry. Well, this is the NFT app, and anytime you click on this, you're going to have to go through the I'm not a robot thing, and this one's especially tricky. It's tricked me a few times on what is a truck.
Right, yeah.
I didn't know if a bus was a truck or not, so
yeah. What was that, Kurt?
That one got me a couple times too.
Yeah.
So, all right. So here's where you kind of land, and what you're seeing here is monsters, energy, and Z1, and those are the most important factors of the entire gaming experience. And we'll go through that a little bit. What you're probably going to be most after is the cards, and you can see mine are disabled, but the way to get them is to click on shop. And when you're first entering the game, the only way to get the cards would be to spend your Binamon that TD was talking about, where you have to swap your BNB for your Binamon. You can spend 1,200 of them, and you'll get a 3-pack. And they are basically really randomized, both by rarity, by elements, and by their power and things like that. So what you get is totally by luck. But then once you get those 3 cards, this takes a second to load. What you'll see up top here is a power rating. And basically what that is it's taking a combined rating of what your class is, what your power is, and what your shield, or they call it a horn power. Do you know what it is, Kurt? I forget what they actually call it, but it's your defense, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's not true.
Yeah, so that's the combine of all of those. So they're coming up with a rating for the card. But then you also see down here that they came up with an algorithmic cost. And basically what that is what they're calculating by what you've spent in BNB at the time of purchase and what you pulled, the value of that card is. And it doesn't change. I checked like today to see if it changes at all. And it's basically at the time that you purchased this card, what that value was. And I believe at the time of these purchases, I was ranging between 0.7 BNB for 1,200 of them and 0.8 BNB for 1,200. And I believe now it would cost you a full BNB. So what's a BNB cost right now? Anybody know?
I think it was like 450 when I looked earlier.
It's actually about 1,200 Binamon is about 2 BNB.
Yeah, it's $450. The Binance.
It went up that much. Okay, yeah. And keep in mind, I got the first ones I bought here were when it was at 26 cents, and then the second ones were around 35 cents, and then the third ones were around 50 cents. So that's
these are like $300 a card right now. Is that right?
Well, that's what it's saying. It's trying to give you a base value of what the card should have been worth at the time it was dropped or minted, I should say. Now, this one actually isn't that great compared to some of my others, and this one isn't either. But you'll see that every one of them was over what the value of the drop was, and this card alone has an $1,157 value.
Yeah, wow.
And then if you look at my first one, which was my best one, I had a $1,500 value, a $1,285 value, and a $675 value.
Wow.
So that was a hell of a drop, and that's what got me to FOMO into this game. I'm like, wow, I just hit it big on this sucker, and the rest of them weren't great, but they were still awesome. They were still in definitely great territory.
So I guess I'm not fully understanding the algorithmic cost. How does that relate to like what I spent on the pack? Like how is it worth that amount? Like what makes it worth that?
I actually think I saved that here because they did try to explain that. Let me find it quick. Hey, Kurt, would you mind finding which page that's on while we're talking here? But yeah, that's a very good question because that's something that I wanted to clear up myself. And what I found, it does clear it up a little bit, but I think it's still a little questionable in the wording. So I want to read it exactly.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'll explain some of the rest of this. So when you first get your card, they're not disabled, and actually they're really cool. Maybe TD, do you still have some that aren't staked yet?
Yeah, I sure do. I haven't staked any of mine yet.
Yeah, we'll show you then later what they look like before you disable them.
Okay.
But the reason why I disabled these is because this power, and it basically what it's worth down here in this gems. So the more power you have here, it's worth more power gems here.
Okay.
And that makes a difference because before I withdrew those, that number was here.
Okay.
And I had to click this button, and it doesn't tell you what it does. But basically what it does is it withdraws everything. And that was 891 tokens. So it withdrew everything. I had to click, sign for MetaMask and pay probably 5 to 15 cents or something like that. And what it did then was it moved it over here. Now, these are now like a token in their metaverse or in their game itself. And then when you move over to the rewards section.
So what's the name of that token? Do we know?
Yeah, I'll tell you in a second here. It's,
okay.
It is BGPWR because that's your power token.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And generating, and you're going to need that in game for playing the game as well. But you can, while the game's not going, you can now stake it. So currently, what I have there, we'll see where I put that.
We'll put that link up for you in the StreamYard chat.
Oh, yeah.
Algorithmic values.
Okay.
Yeah, here it's in the private chat. I can post it here in the main one. And we'll go ahead and production functionalities, monsters, rarity. Yeah, that looks like it is it there.
Yeah, there was a better explanation. I'm wondering if it's on the next page. Yeah, that describes a lot of it, but there was an actual definition of what the algorithmic cost was, and I had thought I screenshot it because I knew I'd need it, and don't know where it's at.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that for you.
Okay. Oh, here.
Yeah, if you go under monsters NFT, yeah, rarity and algorithmic cost.
That's not it either, because it specifically stated that it was like at the time of purchase and what you paid for it at the time. So that's what I'm looking for, Kurt. It states about like what you paid for it.
With algorithmic cost, you have a guide related to the amount of Binamon that you must spend to generate a certain monster. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's it also said that too, but it
okay.
it told you, it broke it down how you got to it. So anyway, then once you jump over to the reward side, then you can stake that token. But there's also, like, if you don't want to buy your cards right away, you have the option to stake your Binamon for other things. And you'll see that there's some crazy rates in here. Like XRP's 535%. BNRG is an in-game token. And we'll go through that in a second. But just quickly looking, like, here's BNB, almost 1,300%. Now, keep in mind, these are annual percentage yields, which means it's taking the annual percentage rate and multiplying that as if you're compounding it. So that would be your annual yield if you compound for 1 year.
Okay, so that's what APY means, and that's different than APR. APY is compounded. So you're pulling your yields, like, I guess, what, daily, and then putting them back in.
I don't know what they base this off of. I'm sure there's some kind of like algorithm for that too. Like if you do it every 3 days, every 5 days, I don't know. And you know,
gotcha.
That's going to be based on like fees. Like you don't want to collect your earnings every hour because you're going to be paying fees on those. You might want to wait a day or 2 days or something like that, and then, you know, restake them somewhere else, collect them and restake them somewhere else. But that's one of the things I want to point out here is there's some great rates here, and I definitely recommend checking it out. But also know that the higher the percentage rate, that means that this pool is just getting started out, and that there's also a lot of risk there. So if this pool doesn't kick off, there's a chance of getting your money trapped in there where you can't get it back out. It's the same as any other DEX exchange where, you know, if you provide liquidity for a pool that doesn't have enough volume, and then all of a sudden the volume drops to nothing, you have nobody to sell it to. So you won't be able to pull out your liquidity. So I just want to warn you that the higher the percentage, there is that chance, but these are some also great opportunities here as well. I mean, an in-game token like some of these, this is the BNRG, which is the other token where if you wanted to convert it back to BMON, it's got a 3,000% rate. And all of this sounds crazy, and you might think that it would break the economy, but they have a ton of information. So we can talk about that a little bit too. So in the shop, they have right now it costs you 1,200 BMON for a pack, but in the future, that's going to keep going up, and you'll see that they started at 400 a pack, and then once they sold 30,000 of the BMON monsters, it went up to 600, and so on and so on. So right now we're at 1,200. When they get to 170,000 monsters, it's going to go up to 1,400. So that makes this pack harder to come by, but each of these are also deflationary as well in the same manner. So as you buy more energy packs, or as they buy more of this lower one, which I'll talk about in a minute, they all do the same thing. They're all deflationary in the aspect that they go up in price the more they get bought. So TD, should I start talking about some of the gaming mechanics here?
Yeah, go for it.
I can explain like what these packs are. All right, so the first pack, as I mentioned, is 3 of those Binamons. You don't know what you get. They're totally random, and there are 1,200 BMON tokens. The second one is this other token, which let me do this just so I can remember the name of the token. I think it's the BNRG token. So the BNRG token is your energy token. And what this one is for is to basically level up your cards. And sorry, I'm spinning here. But if you remember when we were back on, yeah, that's BNRG. So when we were back on the actual collection page, you saw that we had elements, and the elements are based on the cards. So this one's like a water one. There's actually 6 different elements, so I'm not going to know them all, but there's like water, earth, fire, and then there's like 2 others. So
different elements actually have different rarity, like whole percentages too.
Yeah, on top of that too. So if you want to level up this card, for instance, you would need a class 1 energy, and it has to be of the exact same element type. So when you pull those cards over here in the shop, you're trying for something that you already own. If not, you're going to be hitting their marketplace and trying to trade it or sell it, you know, that type of thing. So, you know, the energy cards are how you level up your cards. And what I read throughout the thing is, you know, you have these classes for each cards, and 1 is the lowest. And with a level 1 card, you'll be battling other people with level 1s, and then the rewards are less than a level 10 card. So they go up as you go up. So let's say you're battling a level 5, you'd be battling somebody else at level 5, but your rewards would be better if you beat them. But what I also read in there is it's better to have a highly leveled up class 1 card than it is to have a really weak class 10 card. So, you know, just because you got a class 1 card does not mean that you can't go out there and make good earnings off of that card through battling. So, you know, that's this part of it here will be player versus player battle. And the way I understand it is any card that you own, anybody can attack while you don't even have to be there. What they do is they go out and they attack you. If they lose, you get a reward for it. If they win, you're still getting some kind of reward as well. So even though you're getting attacked, you're not losing any money. But the other person is actually betting against themselves. So when they go into battle, it's going to be, all right, I want to take this card and I'm going against somebody else that is also a class 1, but maybe they have 120 defense and a number 3 for their weapon. They're probably better than me, but then that increases the odds. And it might say, well, I have a 22% chance of winning. I can bet BNB, I can bet BSUB, I can bet their tokens against this. I can bet the Binamon tokens against it. And it's kind of gambling against yourself whether you're going to win. And the bigger the odds, the more you can win. But obviously, if you lose, then you lose that. And that goes back. Some of it goes to governments, but all of it goes back into the ecosystem for everybody to be rewarded if you lose.
Gotcha.
So that is the main player versus player battle. And then there's one other section I need to explain yet, which would then be the adventures. So adventures are a way that they can keep expanding the game. So if you look in their white paper, it basically goes through and it explains some of the deflationary aspects. And what they mentioned was, I think I saved this part. Yeah, in less than 1 month of launch, users have burned 30 million of Binamon, which represents 28% of the circulation supply. In initial supply has been 300 million. It has a limited supply, and you can check the current supply here. So, but then, if you read this, they also have many deflationary aspects, power boosters, all of that. Like when you're buying these packs, it's burning the Binamon and the BNRG, which, you know, makes it also deflationary. Let me just see if this has any relevance.
They said in the last day they've burned over 1% of their circulating supply of Binamon.
Yeah, and as they hit certain levels, it's going to keep going and going. So like if you read through their white paper, you'll see they have a section on the problem and the solution. Where was that? Here it is. So, and that gets into it, like, you know, here's how much they went through and all that other stuff. And then what the solution is going to be is they're going to create these planets. And if you've ever played Alien Wars,
sure, yeah,
you know, they have planets as well, and people are owners of those land plots. They're doing something similar here, but the owners would be like everybody that owns one of these dragons and the Binamon token. But the person that owns the most and the second most become president and vice president. And they get 10% profit of the entire planet's profit and 5% for vice president. And they get to like control the mining rates, kind of like in Alien Worlds. You know, and that would then, and they plan on expanding multiple planets as well. So in the future, you might send your dragon out on an adventure on this planet because it's got better mining rewards than the other planets. So it will be up to the presidents to keep them balanced. Otherwise, people aren't going to want to go to them. So they have a job to do, and they can't, like, you know, get greedy and say, I want all the earnings, because then they'll lose money out of it. You know, people won't. There'll be competition in the game, just like Alien Worlds. So Yeah, that's the other aspect of it. And then the part, that third pack, what that is actually it's a Z1 generation type dragon that you get. And again, like when you drop, it's totally random. You don't know what class you're going to get or what element or what its stats are. But with this one, it takes this Z1 token, and the only way to get this Z1 token is by basically taking your Binamon and staking it over in the staking platform, or through playing the game. There's going to be other mechanisms that you can earn that Z1 token. So it's going to be a completely exclusive dragon type thing that you can only get through playing the game. And, then that opens new opportunities for earning as well if you get one of these dragons. And the Z1, the way I understand it, is kind of like Zed. So it's generation 1 for this planet. There will probably be generation 2s and 3s as well down the road. I don't know if that changes like as this goes up. That might be the case.
Right. So if I click that buy booster, I'm getting a pack, correct? Am I understanding this right?
Yeah, what that booster would be, so for the energy one, you're getting a pack of energy boosters, and I think that has 3 cards as well.
Okay.
And those are the ones that you want to try to match up with your player versus player battle cards, because that levels those up. This down here is entirely different. This will be adventures. This will be something you send it out on that planet.
Okay.
To go on an adventure, and you're battling all these different creatures along the way, and you get a certain amount of time to battle all these creatures. And the more you beat, the more you earn. And I think you can do it like once daily then. So the better your character is, the more you can earn, and the better you get at it, and things like that. They did that beta last night, and if you check out their Twitch, there's a couple people that were in the beta showing how that works, and it looks pretty cool. It looks like a great way to keep people coming back daily for this game.
So if I were to buy that right now, or is it impossible for me to have 800 Binamon Z1 or the Z1 tokens right now?
Well, that's what I'm going for, and right now I have about 200, and I estimate in about 3 days I'll have about 800, and I already got 200 Binamon.
Okay.
So yeah, in about 3 days I should have that. So maybe we should do a live stream.
You can't buy those on PancakeSwap? I'm pretty sure you can.
I don't know. We should investigate that. If we can, then I'm all over that. I'll do it now. That would be great.
Okay, so let's say that I had the 1200 Binamon, and
do you want to start sharing now, TD? And you can show
yeah, let's take a look here.
And it's my understanding that the Z1 monsters will be like usable on planet Z1 whenever that's released.
Oh yeah. That's what it was. So that Z1 will only be on there, and then when they release another planet, that would be called Z2 until the presidents name it. The presidents get the option to name it.
Oh, so yeah, it looks like you can swap Binamon for Z1 on PancakeSwap.
Oh, you can.
That's what that's what one of our fans here, our watcher said.
Well, I'll be all over that after we get off the stream.
Okay, so here's what I got. So I bought 2 packs yesterday, and my first one sucked. As you can see, algorithmic cost $46, 216, and 115. 1200 Binamon yesterday. At the time of this purchase, they were 45 cents each, roughly. So 1200 times 45. Somebody do that math really quick for me. And this was my first pack, and I'm glad I went for a second, because my second pack looks a lot better. 1265, 45, and 720.
Yeah, that was much better pull.
So I guess overall, I probably averaged them out to, okay pulls out of the 2, but I guess I don't know what to do now. Like, I know I have these approve buttons. What are these for?
So, okay. Yeah. And great. 'Cause you're kind of at a fresh start there. So the The one on the left, I believe you're going to have to hit no matter what. So go ahead and do that. And the one in the middle, you'll have to do eventually too. I don't. I think you're going to actually have to do all three. It's going to cost you between 5 and 15 cents. You might as well do it right away. Get it out of the way. You're basically signing contracts saying, yes, I'm willing to put my money into a token form. And then for the other one with the escrow and stuff like that, you're basically saying, yes, I'm willing to put my money into a liquidity pool, or my token, I should say, into a liquidity pool.
All right, so it looks like it accepted it, right? And so now I have this approve button.
Yeah, so that's going to be for the power you generate when you disable those cards, because it will then take your power and convert that to a basically your NFT power that you can then stake on the platform. And that will then, when you first do it, it will be gold, and you'll have to withdraw that, and then it'll become purple after you withdraw it, and then it can be staked.
Okay, so I do want to do this, right?
Yes, yeah, you're going to have to do that in order to disable them. So okay. show them your cards first and how they animate and stuff like that.
Oh, right, yeah. Here, check this out. Like if you hover over them, and let me zoom in here. You guys see that? Zoom in a little more. Yeah, if you hover over them, they do these neat little animations.
Yeah, and the game looks pretty cool too. They teased in their white paper that they're partnered with people from World of Warcraft. So I don't know what that means. That could mean they hired the janitor for all I know. But you know, from what I've seen with the game mechanics and stuff like that, it looks like this could be a really full-fledged game at some point. You know, right now it's mostly about the DeFi aspects, but
yeah.
You know, exactly. Battling each other definitely adds a true gaming component, and then going on adventures, that kind of reminds me of like blockchain cuties and those things. But this is it's fully animated, and you're interacting with it. Like each creature you come across, you have to choose the element to battle against them so that you're stronger against them. So
okay,
it's not just sit back and watch it go. You have to actually interact and play the game.
All right, so now I click those two buttons that you said that's approved. Yeah. That I have to. You said everybody has to approve those, essentially, right?
What is that? 14,870. What is that number there?
So that's a combination of everything below the cards down there. You see that? Because now that he approved that, it gave him a gem power of whatever that BNGR token, whatever it is. It's giving you the value and worth. Now that you prove that. So if you want, what you can do is you can click that button up there, that 14,870, and that will withdraw all of it. If you click the ones under the cards, it only withdraws what's under the card. So that's basically what's happened. You're saying, like, for that first card there, if you click that 7812, I want to disable this and stake that funds, you're then converting it to another token that can be staked.
Okay, so we do have a question from our audience here. Das, can you go over whether you think we should buy packs and stake or just stake Binamon?
So that's a very good question, because the staking that you're going to get off of these cards right now is not going to be nearly as good as if you just went out and bought Binamon and then put it in a pool to try to earn either that Z1 token or the BNRG token. Those rates are a lot better. The reason why you want to stake your cards is because if you're not using them in a game, they're still earning. So it's still giving you an earning mechanism for your cards. But right now, if your overall goal is to get ahead in the game and try to get one of those Z1 characters or earn enough Binamon so that you can get a pack or buy one of the energy packs, I think the fastest way is to stake it.
And so I don't know if this is happening to anybody else on this screen, but so I know that I have to refresh in order to see my balance again. But yeah, a few times I've refreshed and like it shows that I had nothing, and it's like,
yeah, so
it kind of freaks me out and panics me, but I know that it's there because this is
Yeah,
blockchain.
I actually checked on this stuff because it was bugging me too. And here's a couple things that you should be aware of. So one, it's very hard to see what you're staked. What I do when I'm scrolling down is if you look on the left-hand side of every single card, it says reward per block, and then just under it, it says staked. So you want to see if you have anything there. That's the easiest way to first see if you have anything in the pool.
Right. So what I'm saying is mine is zeroed out. Like
Right.
I'm certain that I have this one, these two here, BMON, BNRG, and BNRG, BMON. These are the two I'm staked to, and this should not be zero. This should be like 6,000 and something.
Okay, so if you go to your MetaMask, and then go to account details at those three dots, or
I'm
going to go to the beast. Yeah, so view and explore. And then if you click on that drop down there where it says $3.41, what's missing there will show up down there. If you scroll down, you'll find those BNRG tokens and the liquidity ones and all that other stuff. They're having a problem with their reporting. I thought I lost my Z1 tokens when I restaked other stuff because my balance zeroed out, and then I went here and I checked it out, and they were actually there.
Oh wow, I have a bunch of crap tokens that I didn't even know about.
You should see all the stuff I found. And they're all crap. I mean, they call it crap tokens and stuff like that. So once people know you have an account, they start airdropping you all kinds of stuff just to get you to try to check it out. Alice, I got that too. It's worth nothing.
So which one is, so this, I don't know if this is it.
So you're looking, BN, that might be one of the liquidity ones. No, that's BNBW. No. That's a wrapped BNB, I think.
Yeah, I think that's my auto farm one.
There's your stuff.
Yeah. These are my NFTs, it looks like.
It's higher than that because that's the ERC. Yeah.
There's a couple of those Binamon BNRG pools. So if you scroll down, it might still be there.
Yeah, there's your Binamon token.
There's the Binamon Energy, BSC token.io. Yeah, it's weird. Like I'm not seeing it here. But then if I go back to where did it? Here, like I'm gonna refresh one time and it'll show up and it'll be there.
I've had that problem too. And if you look up top, they have a counter of what you earned, and they're all at zero no matter what you earned. So they definitely have some reporting issues, but it is the blockchain, and as long as I can see it on that scan, I'm still okay with it. But you're gonna run into issues. It's not something that's for the faint of heart.
Right. So yeah, which is weird. It just started doing this since we started this stream. Like it happened one time yesterday.
Yeah. So
all through today, I was fine.
I think I see it, TD, on the right-hand side. Keep in mind that sometimes they have two pools of the exact same stake tokens, like BMON and WBNB. Yeah, so 63 right there on the right, BNRG, BMON.
Yeah, so this is my second one. I have two of them. One has 6,000 and the other one has 63.
It's possible that you're looking at only active pools when you're actually staked into a finished pool.
Yeah.
Look at only finished and see if that brings it up.
Oh, gotcha.
There it is.
Look at that.
Unstake from that, unstake from the finished pool, and restake into an unfinished pool.
Okay, so what's the difference? This is great. I'm glad you showed me this.
So that pool ended at a specific block number. So that pool only lasts a specific amount of time, which has ended. So you need to move into a new pool.
All right, so I need to withdraw everything, right?
Correct, yep.
Do I need to put a number here? Sorry.
Nope, it'll withdraw all of it.
Do I need to collect?
No, it'll auto collect as far as I know. Yeah.
And I don't need to put a number here.
No, it should withdraw everything. Like, that's one of the things I think they have to add eventually is the ability to change how much you want to add and withdraw.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, looks like.
So I'll also add, TD, they do have an audit report, and they've major issues. They've got 2 very minor issues that I don't understand. So, but they have been audited, and they have like a 20% marketing budget. And if you watch their videos that they've done on the beta program already, you know, I can only imagine what they're going to do after they release and have the full game, which is coming the 28th, by the way. August 28th is when the full game is supposed to be released.
Okay, so there we go. We can now see that I have my Binamon in my wallet, right? So there's 6,292.454, and I have 1.975 BNRG. And had I gone to like Pancake Swap to get this Binamon, and I swapped to BNB for it, like this is kind of where we would be at right now in the steps, right? So, you know, step 1 would be get BNB. Step 2 would be go to Pancake Swap to swap it for Binamon. Step 3 would be to come to this page. And as Kurt told us, we want to make sure that this filter is set to only not finished. And then I want to select the pool that I want to stake for. So now these are a little different than liquidity pools as I've come to know them, like up until this point. And that's not really saying a whole lot because, you know, despite what people think, I'm kind of new to all of this as far as like LPs and such. So I had never seen a single token LP, and I don't know how they work. I did ask our expert Louis, and he believes that they are taking it into their wallet and staking the pair, and which that would make a lot of sense, and that's actually really neat. I've never thought of that. Unfortunately, there isn't anything that shows what's going on under the hood, so we definitely have that as a bullet point item. Like we want to know like how this is working. Do either of you know how this single token LP works?
Honestly, I really don't. I think of it kind of like a U.S. savings account. Like you put U.S. dollars into a savings account and you earn interest off of that, as opposed to like a liquidity pool is needed for a stock exchange, or anytime you're exchanging 2 tokens, that's when a liquidity pool is needed. Because you need somebody to be able to provide the insurance that price is going to be the same from the time you hit buy to the time they actually grab it and get it back to you. So that's where the risk comes in. That's where the person that's providing that liquidity gets rewarded for that risk because they're providing that margin for you. With a single one, that's my best guess. I really don't want to answer that question without a solid knowledge on it, but I think it's just kind of like earning interest.
Okay, and so we have a question from the audience here. I want to address this because it's not just Binamon where you'll see this. Why is there a 0.4 BNB fee to stake on some of them? So from my experience, and this is across multiple Binance apps and games, like that means something's broken. And like, and here's how I know is because I have more than 0.4 BNB in my wallet that I play crypto blades with. And when I go to try to withdraw a skill, it tries to charge me 0.4, but it also says I have insufficient funds, which I don't. So that obviously doesn't add up. Like I have more than 0.4, like I have 0.5 or 0.6 or something like that. And so it won't even allow me to pay it.
So contract, usually if you refresh, you can get that to go away unless the contract itself is written badly.
Right. So with crypto blades, I believe they've turned off your ability to withdraw skill at the moment. Kurt did teach me a trick, and what that was. I mean, Kurt, I guess you can go ahead and explain it. I don't need to steal your thunder.
No, you're good. You're good. So I think what they're actually running into is they're trying to stake their entire balance amount, and they need to stake one less. So if your total balance is 1.0003, stake 1.0002, and it will go through with the red gas limit or the world gas price.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's the same with Alcor. I learned with through my experience trading Ether and all those other tokens. I will always drop the last digit down by one or so. And the other thing that Kurt showed me was adjusting the gas fee and taking off like the last two digits of it. So if it's like 4 places to the right of the decimal, I've just taken off the last 2, because that will essentially turn them to zeros and leave that amount behind. And that seemed to fix it as well. All right, so I approved this. You notice one says stake and one says approve. Correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but this is something that you will see in all Binance like liquidity pools.
Not just Binance, actually, like Ethereum, you'll see it as well.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, again, it's signing a contract saying that you're okay with converting your tokens and adding them to a pool. That, because basically what's happening here is the 2 tokens that you're adding. Well, this is a single liquidity pool, but most liquidity pools, what you're doing is you're taking the 2 tokens that are being used for liquidity, whether that's Binamon and BNB, and you're putting them together, and then what they give you back is a liquidity token. So those tokens are now somewhere else, and you're getting an LP token. That would actually get staked for you. So you're approving a contract that says that you're okay with that.
Cool. All right. And so back to step 4, we were on, step 4 was approving the LP, right? And so we'll always have to do that. We only have to do it once. That opens up our ability to stake here. And now that we've done that, I can take my full balance and we'll see if this works, because I like this APY. It was a lot higher yesterday. And that pool that just finished, I think it was at like 1,200 when I started.
As the volume goes up, those percentage rates are going to drop more and more, because the risk is getting lower and lower as the volume builds.
Yeah, which that's a good thing. I mean, in my opinion,
because you're also earning more for every block. Then the blocks are happening faster, So
right, yeah.
Well, not more per block. You're actually earning the same, but the blocks are happening faster then. So
okay, so here we go. This is exactly what we were just talking about with the gas fee, right? So I tried to do exactly what I had. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is where I should go into this edit button.
Yeah, we can't see your MetaMask though, TD.
Say again? Oh, you guys can't see it. All right.
I would actually just I would stake 0.4543.
So just take these off, or 4. You think that'll work?
That'll work too.
Yeah, it's always good to be a little bit behind, especially with Ethereum. Because of gas fees, you can get yourself trapped where you end up having to send money back just so that you can get your money out of a wallet. So Binance is not that bad because you really need very little, but with Ethereum, you should always keep like 0.1 Ethereum in your wallet just for sending and receiving, or sending and signing stuff.
So I'm getting this transaction error exception thrown in contract code, and I'm getting this, the same thing that the user, our audience member, said about the 0.4.
It could be the pool itself. If it's a super high percentage rate, it could be
I see it.
Like the tolerance.
You're trying to stake too many. The max looks to be 5,000 for that pool, and you're trying to stake over 5,000.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Good call.
All right. So where do you seeing the? Oh yeah, look at that. What am I supposed to do with this extra 1,200 BMON? Das, do you know anything that might cost 1,200 BMON?
Oh yeah. How to buy a pack.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. All right.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm still getting the error. Oh wait, no, here we go. I got it now. Finally. Sweet.
First world problem.
Yeah, I think if you have rejected transactions like in your log or backed up on MetaMask, that's a problem too. I've noticed at the bottom it gives you a link that says reject 2 previous transactions or something like that. And then if I click that, that'll oftentimes resolve it. All right, boom, there we go. I got my 5,000 staked. That's the max. And I'll be earning my 700%. So that dropped on that deposit alone, on that staking alone. I mean, right? It was higher than 707 just a second ago, right?
I'm not sure. It might
I think it might have been.
So TD, Kurt found what we were talking about with that algorithmic cost. And basically what it says is there is an algorithmic cost associated with the generation of each Binamon. This cost depends on the difficulty to generate characteristics of each Binamon and the amount of Binamon tokens spent to generate it.
Cool.
So that's the definition. And I can throw that in the Twitch chat. That's
yeah. So I guess now the question is, do I buy a pack live on stream here? I guess I do, right? Is that what we want to do?
On stream luck.
Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so up here you can see my token balance, right? 1292.
Yep.
And I will come down to shop, right?
Yep.
And then I have my price of 1200 monster booster. This is the one I want to click, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, and the first time you do it, you'll have to hit improve account.
Oh, right. Yeah, because we could see that on these here also.
Yeah, because TD already did this the first time. That's already done.
All right. Okay, are you guys nervous?
I am. Yeah, I just told you to buy it, so if you get crap, it's on me.
Yeah. All right, and so they're just going to show up?
They'll show up under collection. It'll take it a minute. I would say give it like another 45 seconds and you'll probably be good. But yeah, it shows up under collection then.
How many do I have? Oh, there's the confirmed transaction.
Yeah, you'll probably take another 30 seconds or so yet, though.
All right, it's spinning. It's spinning.
No way.
500. That's a nice one.
No. Wait, no. That's my old ones still, so they didn't show up.
No, they didn't. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they haven't shown up yet. Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, we take that.
So, but they will be across the top, right?
Yeah, they should show up top.
There they are.
There they are.
I think, right? Yeah.
As good as the last one.
No, but still not terrible, right? I got 250, 337, and 77.
You got your value out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems pretty good.
That middle drop was your best one by far.
Right, for sure. All right. Well, hey, not bad. And at least now I got, what's this guy do? He flies. That's pretty neat.
An eagle, a reindeer, and yeah, another eagle with horns.
And this little guy. All right, not bad, not bad. That wasn't nearly as bad as this poll, I don't think. Yeah, this was the worst by far.
Yeah. You have a nice little team going, TD.
Hey, thanks, man. And so this shot up by about another 1,000 or 700 or so. And how much is 1,200 Binamon at the moment? How much did I just spend on that? Give me a heart attack here.
About 2 BNB.
It was about 2 BNB. Wow.
Wow, it's jumped that much since. Wow. That's awesome, but wow. And
yeah,
you know, and the thing is like, if you look at the market cap, and they're gunning for like Axie Infinity, and I would say, you know, people that do that are, you know, probably crazy because you're talking, what is that, a $20 billion market cap? But this is on Binance Smart Chain. It's not going to cost people a fortune in fees to play this game. So if Axie can reach that, I don't see what would stop them. You know,
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This was four days ago. It was at 15 cents.
Yeah, and you know, like this is crazy right now where it's at, but I still think it's early. I really do.
With the amount of tokens they're burning and they're launched like less than a week away, it's the sky's the limit.
Right. All right. This was awesome. Let me see. Do I have any other questions? Oh, did I tell you what my strategy was on this? If not, let me tell you guys, and you can tell me what you think. All right, so I have my Binamon, and I'm staking that for the Binamon energy token, right? And so that's coming out right here. If I refresh, I should see that number increase. Yeah, so I already got 0.1829 BNRG earned. And so then what I'm doing is I'm taking this when it gets to like 6 or 10 or whatever, whatever it is the next day when I decide to look at it, I collect it and then I put it over here into, not this one, into this pool here. So this BNRG BMON. So this is giving me back the same token that I have staked for BNRG. So it's like somewhat of a little loop, right? Where I'm staking BMON, I'm getting BNRG, and then I'm staking it BNRG and I'm getting BMON. And so I have 1.5 of that earned already from the 63 BNRG, which that's all of my profits from the other pool, right? And like the cool thing about this is like I'm not losing anything here, right? Like I have my original staked amount and I can withdraw that at any time and just liquidate and cash out if I want. But in the meantime, it's creating this other token, BNRG, which in turn creates the originating token. And then my next move after this gets up to like 10 or 12 or whatever, I'm going to drop it over into the Z1 pool, which I think is this one at the bottom, maybe, right? Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one here. I'm going to drop it in here, which I guess I have 92 of these left over. So I could probably go ahead and do that now. And then I'm going to try to generate the Z1 token off of it. What do you guys think of that strategy?
I think it's a great one. The only way mine varies is I really want one of the Z1 packs, so I'm going straight for the Z1 tokens instead of I'm skipping the BNRGs and I'm going straight for the Z1 as my main goal.
Okay, and the audience asked it, and yes, I definitely want to see this too. Can you show me how to stake these guys now? Like these aren't staked, right?
You're right. So all right. So do you want to stake them all, or do you want?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Why would I not want to do that for any reason?
Well, so when the gameplay starts, you're going to have to then regenerate these in order to actually play them. So if you stake them all now, they're all going to be disabled, and then you'll have to come back and at least.
And that's what, a transaction fee? Like what's the negatives of that?
It's not going to be a fortune. The only thing I'm uncertain of is like, is it going to be easy to just unstake one, or are you going to have to like pull all your tokens to do that? You know, that's where it gets a little iffy. So why don't you try just doing one for now? Because I don't know if you can do just one.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Click on the gold button at the bottom of one of the cards that you want to stake.
This one here?
Yeah.
It's 476.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then it asks me to confirm the gas fee.
Transaction over there.
Yep.
Okay.
And then now we're waiting. Now,
what you should see happen is 476 should show up in that purple button up top there.
Okay. This one here.
And then once that shows up in there, then it's going to also show up on your reward side and you can stake it. Now, even after it's staked, that number won't go down, that purple number. So that's why it's a little tricky, because right now you think you have purple tokens in there, but if they're staked, you can't withdraw them. So that's where I got hung up there yesterday or today sometime.
Okay, that's a truck. These are all trucks.
Yeah, that's a bit confusing. These are the BG Power tokens.
Yeah. So it looks like James is doing the same strategy. That's cool. All right, cool. And so now it says disabled, return BG Power to activate. So what does that mean?
So that means like now you have those tokens that you can stake, but if you want to play that card again, you have to put them back.
So gotcha. All right. So no, I want to do this. I want to stake all of these, and I want to go stake these.
Okay.
Because the beam.
Hit that button on the left where it says 18,540, and that will disable all of them and stake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And all in one shot, huh?
Yep.
To save on the transactions. Sweet. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that. And what's approve escrow mean?
I think you're going to probably have to do that for the ability to stake that purple token or the gold token, the BNGR token.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, let's see if that's true. I don't know if you guys saw what I just did there, but I tried to reload and it gave me the error message about sending the same form submission again. And I just went up into the URL and I cleared out everything after the .org and hit enter. And then that allowed me to refresh without getting that message. I think that has something to do with the CAPTCHA. All right. So yeah, now they're all staked, right?
Yeah. Before you approve that escrow, let's prove that point. Let's go over to the reward side and see if you can stake those tokens yet. Because I think that's what it means, is you're basically approving the ability. So find a BNGR.
Yeah, here's one
that you want to enter.
So yeah, I want Cardano. That's what this is, right?
Okay. So was that a stake? Because it should have been, I think, on the first one.
I'm sorry, say that again, Das.
Was that button approve or did it say stake?
So here's a message from the audience really quick. Take a look at that. This one said approve, and so that's what I'm waiting on. Now I have stake it. He says approve escrows for the P2P trading of your NFTs.
That makes sense. So yeah, in the future you're going to be able to trade them. So you're basically saying that you'd be able.
Oh man, thank you, King Binamon. That's an awesome name.
Since you have so many of those BG Power, you got to look out for the limit on the amount you can stake.
Oh yeah, bummer. Good point. I can stake 5,000. Say again.
You're too big of a whale already. You're hitting all the limits.
Right? Yeah, man.
No problems.
All right, so cool. Now I'm gonna start earning some Cardano, right? At 17,000. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And how far is that block count along? Is it almost over? Or?
I don't know what that means. How would I?
You see the end block there with that ratio right above it?
Oh wow! Look at that.
Telling you where it's at.
So what would I need to do? Subtract these to?
Yeah. The left number from the right number.
No, what you can actually do, you can copy the number on the right, and you can paste it into BSC scan in the search bar, and it'll tell you. It'll give you like a timer, basically.
Like that. Oh wow! Look at you.
Oh, look at that! I didn't know that either. Cool.
Brilliant. Let's paste this in the chat for everybody. Oh yeah, I didn't mean to hit the one there, but I would guess that just the number one is probably a long time ago. Oh yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, that's pretty neat though, and I can do that on all of them. Is that right, Kurt?
Yeah, and if it's already ended, it will come up with a transaction.
So now I need to set a timer that tells me when this Cardano pool ends, right?
Like you're not.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
In a day anyway.
Because when it ends, then I'm gonna freak out because I'm not gonna find it under not finished again, and then I'll remember that we had this talk, and then I'll find it and have to withdraw, and then I guess move it over to another pool, right?
Yeah, let's hope they put some kind of like little alert icon there to let you know when it's want it to run out or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right, so I still have 14,000 BG power. Where else can I put this? I can put it in this one. It looks like
I would
can put
recommend going to the Z1. That's where I put it. I know there's one of those.
Oh, there is a Z1.
Yeah, there it is. Right. Oh no, it's not.
I don't see it. Let's see. So I guess I can do it for Binamon. That sounds good.
42%.
Or BNRG. So let me ask you this, Kurt. Should I be checking these dates and putting them in because like these look the same, right?
Some of them are pretty short. Some of them might only be like 24 hours. So you do want to keep an eye on that when you're first staking into a pool, just to make sure it's not going to end, in the next few hours or.
Right. So that one ends in 10 days and this one ends in 1 day.
That's
I would definitely go. I don't know why I have two of these open. I definitely would want to go with this 10-day one, right? So,
yeah, if you just want to stake it and forget it, that's the best one to go for sure.
And let me just make sure there wasn't a Z1 because I would agree that that's what I would want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't see it, so I'm just gonna go for Binamon then.
Yeah, which means I probably gotta check mine because I thought there was one, which might mean it right now. And it's not up there. By the hour, sometimes they put so many pools up there. When I first found this, there was only 5 pools there, and now there's 20. It's grown like crazy. It's been swapping out. They added Bitcoin today. They added DOT today. Cardano. I don't know if that was this morning or last night.
All right, cool. All right, cool. 19. Oh, my balance is 14, not 19. And so I'm guessing that this is 10 million, not 10,000, because it looks like it's.
Yeah, it looks like it's
ellipsicized, whatever the word would be. All right, so let's see. We got some questions here. Does it make the most sense to let them finish and then withdraw, or withdraw early?
I guess that depends on your own personal game plan. I would say, always pay attention to your fees. Don't just go in there and constantly like withdraw every hour or something like that because you're costing yourself excess. So figure out what you're earning and base that. I would say if you have $100 in, you shouldn't be pulling it out until you have like $5 stake. $5 worth coming out because otherwise you're just wasting fees. But then as far as when to swap it, like if you want to pull it out and put it in another pool, you should have enough to put it in the other pool first. Like, you probably shouldn't just stake $1. You should stake at least $10.
Cool. All right, and then one more thing that I want to touch on before we wrap it up here. Kurt, can you explain to the viewers what they're seeing with these pairs? And because I know that you had some really good insight about what you're looking at here and try to make it a little clearer.
Yeah, because the formatting kind of makes it look like you're staking to a liquidity pool when you're really only staking to a single asset staking pool on most of these. So if it says like the bottom right one there says BNRG / Binamon, or one of them did say that. But yeah, that one right there, BNRG / Binamon Z1. So that one, the first one is BNRG, that's what you're staking, and the Binamon Z1 is your reward. So if you go up a little bit and find a liquidity pair one,
which like this one here, right?
Yeah.
Binamon Z1.
Yeah, so on that one, you're going to be taking a liquidity pair, which you're going to need to get from like Pancake Swap or something. So you're going to be staking Binamon Z1 in a liquidity pair in order to receive Binamon Z1 as a reward.
Okay. All right. So I'm following you here, though. the left of the slash is what you're staking, to the right of the slash is what you're getting, and they kind of just use the hyphens interchangeably for slashes, when, because like I'm used to seeing the slash meaning like the pair, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's really confusing for people that are familiar with staking or familiar with liquidity pools.
Right.
They can get really confused.
Right. And on here, what we're looking at, it's just a separator here, like it's a divider. They probably could have used the pipe instead of the key over top of the enter, I guess, and then left this splash.
I wouldn't be surprised if they changed that at some point or update it to make it more clear.
Right. Yeah, I would agree. So these are just all single tokens on the left and what you're getting on the right. And then there are some liquidity pair tokens that you can in fact stake. Here's another one. Like if we made a Binamon BNRG liquidity pair on PancakeSwap, we could then bring it here and stake it for Binamon, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right. That's
what I would recommend. If you don't have enough money for 1,200 Binamon, that's how I would recommend getting into this project, is just doing some staking on the yield farming page.
Yeah, that's great advice, because 1,200 Binamon is pretty much, if you're getting into this game and you're a little nervous about it, that makes sense. I mean, it's a beta game, which means there's some risks to it. So maybe just put what you can afford in it and stake it until you can afford that.
Right. And so I just got a private DM from Mixplick, my Metaforce buddy. He's showing me the Gala market cap right now, which is 197 million, and the Axie market cap, which is 4.4 billion, and said could very easily get there. And Gala is in KuCoin now, in case you want to get some at some point. So yeah, when these coins make that move over to other exchanges like KuCoin or Coinbase, I think Axie got on Coinbase recently. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Coinbase Pro.
Binamon today announced that they were going on to centralized exchange. I'll try to find that quick.
All right. So another question from the audience: is there a counter for how many mons are in the game? That's a good question. How many monsters are there?
That I don't know. I don't know if I read that.
I'm not sure if there's a number, like a solid number, but there's a chart in the docs page that shows you like basically the rarity amount to pull each stat. So I'm sure you could.
I have probabilities here, TD. If you want to see that, I can show you that.
Yeah, here, let me stop sharing. Once you get it.
So here's your class probabilities. Class 1 being the lowest and the easiest, so about 33%, and the highest is a 12. So you have actually classes of 1 through 12 that you can pull, and 12 is, what's that, 0.01%. So that's like super mythic there. And then like each of these, like regardless of what you pull here, this is also a rarity. And then the horn power, which is your resistance or your defense strength, that's also a rarity. So like you have a chance of pulling some ultimate type cards out of this stuff, based off of the rarities, or you can pull some really garbage, But yeah, the rarities aren't just like, 7 classes like you typically see in NFTs. These have power rarities, the defense and elements on top of the class.
I'm not sure if they're seeing your screen right now, Dean.
Oh. TD, did anybody see any of that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so here's what I was talking about. So here's your classes 1 through 12, and the lowest class is 33% chance, and then the highest class 12 is a 0.01% chance. And then this is your attack strength, same thing. You have different rarities for that, your defense, and then these are the element rarities as well. So what I was saying is you have the chance to pull something ultimately mythic, like a class 12 with an attack 12 with a horn power of 100%, and you end up in the quantum element. That would be the ultimate pull.
Awesome. Right, here's another question. Do you recommend BG Power / Cardano staking? Well, that's a great question. I'll let you know here in, I guess, a little bit, because I just, that's the one I just went in on. Looked good to me.
My personal best results so far have been from staking the Binamon and BNRG tokens. But yeah, I don't really have any personal experience on ADA yet.
Yeah, so TD, here's the one about they're on. We're pleased to announce that 2 of the top 10 centralized exchanges will be listing Binamon in the coming weeks. So that's pretty big.
Show me that again. What?
I'm on Twitter here. You see me?
Yeah. What does it say?
We are pleased to announce that 2 of the top 10 centralized exchanges will be listing Binamon in coming weeks. Yep.
Our legal team is already, so it doesn't say which 2 though, right?
Saying 2 of the top 10.
Okay. Can we guess? Can we speculate?
Binance would be, I guess, that would be awesome. That would be the best case scenario, I think, for this game, just because it's on
So
Binance.
number 1 is Binance, number 2 is Coinbase, number 3 is Hubi, whatever that is. Yeah, 4 is FTX. I guess I can share my screen, right? I wonder what happens if I share mine when you're sharing. Oh, it just takes over. Look at that. All right, so Binance, Coinbase, this one, FTX, KuCoin, Kraken. I don't know if we count Binance again, maybe, right?
Well, not Binance US. I doubt it.
All right, yeah. Bithumb, Bitfinex. Oh, that's the other one.
Yeah,
I think I have coins in here that I forgot about, and I couldn't remember the name, but I think that's the one there.
Honestly, it could be any of those. I really don't know. I mean, I'd be rooting for Binance just because that would be huge for them.
Yeah, Gate.io, they have a lot of under the radar tokens.
Yeah, I know that. I think it is going to be Gate.io. I will love it if it's KuCoin, Binance, or Coinbase, but I doubt that it's Coinbase.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it depends. Like Binance can surprise you. I know they have incubators and stuff like that, so I don't know.
So it's not already on Binance, even though it's a Binance.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, so Tall James said it. Yeah, Binance and Gate.io.
Is that confirmed?
That's already on, or
no? He's making his prediction.
He's making.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Which I can dig it. I would think that maybe I think Gate.io is accurate also. So we'll see. Maybe it is Binance and Gate. We'll have to award Tall James a prize if he's right on that. So awesome. All right, we're about an hour and 20 minutes, so I think we should wrap this up. Das, do you have anything for the audience before we let them go?
No, just once we get like one of those Z1s, maybe we'll do a pack rip on stream or something like that again to follow up.
Yeah.
This player opens up, we'll probably try it on stream and give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm really excited about where this could go. I'm a little disappointed that I had to unstake all of my Binamon and kind of split it up and then bought a pack because I really liked the idea of all that sitting in their staking, but it's fine. I'll get over it. I won't burden you guys with my whale tears. Kurt, what do you have for the audience before we let them go?
I would say if you're going to get into the yield farming, just pay attention to new pools coming in, because you can get some really great high percentage rewards early on in the pool before a bunch of other people jump in. So look out for that.
Excellent. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and we will be back soon with another NFT project or coin or something to review. You guys have a good one.